Alright guys, welcome to another video of the Jackie wheel switching layout. Today we are gonna do something special. I decided to do a review on a product which I have recently purchased. I assembled it and now I thought that since I haven't found on YouTube a lot of videos regarding different types of this product, I decided to do one by myself. This is the third take with my phone here. Something happened when I tried it before, so this is my third and last attempt, hopefully. So anyway, let's get started right into. So a little background story here before we get started. So when I started with US model railroading here in Switzerland, somehow on the internet I found a website which showed these Sergent engineering couplers. Back in those days, it was manufactured and sold by Frank Sergent, who originally invented these couplers. However, when I started getting into the hobby a little bit more serious, the only couplers that were available were these regular E-types and lower shelf couplers. However, pretty soon I noticed that for some locomotives and some cars I need the special ones like double shelf, H-type, F-type, and also extended shank couplers for my overland models. Because of the plow in front and sometimes in the rear of the locomotive, I needed extended shank couplers, but those were no longer offered anymore by Sergent. So the ones I bought, I put in a box, I put them aside. I joined a Facebook group called Sergent Engineering or something like that. And then I waited a couple of years, like 6 years, I think, before someone took over the production of this great product. So a gentleman by the name of Alex, and I hope I spell his last name correct, Wojciechowski. I'm not sure if I spelled that correctly. Please forgive me if that was wrong. So Alex took over production of the Sergent coupler product series, and he's offering all different versions now, and that got me back into this assembly process and into fitting all my freight car with these couplers. I ordered a batch to test them out and to watch and show how they work, and everything went fine and smooth here, so I'm gonna place a bigger order later down the road here. But I decided to give them a proper review, since on the interwebs I couldn't find a video which shows the different type one. You can find videos showing the assembly process, but I decided to show you guys a little bit the differences between the couplers. So let's get started right into. I prepared my little DODX flat car here. So first of all, we're gonna talk about the different types of the available couplers. So you can see here, this is a regular E-type coupler. This is an original one from Sergent actually, but Alex offers them, and they are exactly the same measurement and all that. So I have this E-type here, then we have an extended shank. You can see the shank is a little bit longer. This is an extended shank E-type coupler. And then let's get over here. You can't see it due to the white line there. So on the top here we have a double shelf coupler. These ones are gonna be used for LPG, crude oil, sulfur, acid, and all that hazardous materials. I'm gonna use these double shelf couplers. And then we have the H-type coupler shown here for passenger service. I only have one P42 and I think 4 passenger cars, so it's not the main topic or service on my layout. However, since I'm gonna use that P42 with those cars, I decided to order some of these H-type couplers here for the passenger service. Hopefully I can show you here with a little bit more focus. Beautiful, you can see the knuckle there. So they are something between a regular and a double shelf coupler, I guess, because you can see they are bigger than the E-types, but they don't have an actual upper shelf, so they're just for passenger service. I guess it has something to do with safety measurements. I'm not sure about that, because here in Europe we use a completely different coupling system, which is called UIC. So when I worked for the railroad, we were using Schwab couplers and the UIC couplers. So these ones here for the passenger service again, then the double shelf ones for hazardous materials, crude oil, ethanol, and stuff like that. And then the extended shanks one are gonna be used for example, I have a Egevo by Overland, which has a front plow, and I am gonna need one of these because the regular E-types is just simply too short. And just for comparison, I have a KD coupler here. This is the one I took out from this DODX car. You can see the design differences. So the KD couplers work great, so I absolutely have no problem with KD. I love their couplers, they're great. I use them on all my freight cars until now, because now I'm gonna convert my cars for these prototype couplers. So when Alex took over production, he's selling these couplers under the name of Prototype Couplers. Just check out his website. He has a website where he shows always and lists all his products. So here, prototypecouplers.com. I'm not sponsored in any way, whether by KD nor by Prototype Couplers nor by any other company. I just simply decided to do a video and show you guys what I found out. So again, this is not sponsored in any way. So let's talk about the couplers themselves. So you can see here I prepared an extended shank lower shelf coupler. You can see the bottom cover there is a lower shelf one. So these are all the parts that you are going to need when you assemble a coupler. So you can see here we have the knuckle, then we have a steering ball, this little spring, and this is the bottom cover here. You can see this is a lower shelf coupler, and then the coupler itself. So you take the steering ball, place it into this hole, take the knuckle, place it right onto this little pin here. You come with the bottom cover, you add a tiny little amount of CA glue here, up to here and here, but make sure you don't have any of this glue inside here. So just really in the hole here. Then you place the bottom cover onto the coupler and your coupler is ready to use. So once you glued everything together, you have such a little coupler here. Looks like this. This one is a weathered one. I bought it online on eBay a couple of years ago. This is one of the original ones by Sergent. I bought them weathered, and these are the ones that I bought freshly from Prototype Couplers. These ones are not weathered yet. However, I'm gonna use that just later down the road because I hadn't found the time to do it by now. So okay, so this is the coupler, and as you can imagine, it's a little bit tedious to assemble them. So what you're gonna need is, just make sure, pull the car down here. So you have this little assembly jig or fixture, however you want to call it. So this one allows you to take one of the couplers. So you just place the coupler onto here. Let's close the knuckle here. You can see the knuckle is fixed in there. So you place the coupler here. You add the steering ball and everything, just I explained. And then you add the CA glue, you put the bottom cover onto it, and once it has dried, you take it out from there, turn it around, and there is your beautiful E-type coupler. Alex offers these assembly fixtures, I think, in a bigger variety, so I only have this one here. For obvious reasons, you can't use this one with extended shanks because these are for the E-type, the standard length. So for the extended ones, you would have to modify it. I highly recommend to check out the website because if I'm correct, Alex has added some of these jigs and fixtures in different sizes, maybe for different coupler types. I'm definitely gonna order some of those. Okay, so here we go. And then I bought this from Sergent again because that was years ago. So this is your height gauge. You can see if the coupler fits into this little leak there, then your height gauge is correct. I'm not sure if this is according to NMRA standards, I guess. However, feel free to correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. However, this is the height gauge, and you can use this to adjust your coupler height, and then you are ready to go. Okay, so we had the height gauge, we had the assembly fixture, and now let's go on to this little guy here. So this is a brass tube, just the one that I had in my hands before. It's totally the same. So this is just a brass tube with a magnet on the end and this little pin here, and that allows you to go over the coupler and open up the knuckle if you twist it. So why the magnet? That has one simple reason, and that's the main difference compared to KD. if these couplers close, they are locked. I can demonstrate this. So you can see the knuckle won't move. It doesn't go open. There's a cat here. Why is there a cat here? Okay, sorry guys. So the knuckle cannot be opened unless the metal steering ball, which you can see there, is upside, and then you can open. So for demonstration purposes, if a car comes and the knuckle closes, it's locked and it won't go open. Similar to KD. However, the biggest difference is this little steering ball, because you need the magnet and the pin to make the knuckle open. And once it's closed, the steering ball falls down into its hole, and then the knuckle is locked. And that's the main difference, and that's where the fun begins, in my eyes at least. So you need this little magnet, this little tool to go over the coupler and to twist it, and then you can open the coupler, and the coupler can be opened and closed. However, it closes by itself once you couple onto another car. So I can demonstrate this here. You just simply go over with the magnet, and once you come back, the knuckle closes. It locks in place, and you can't pull the cars apart. And again, you need the magnet to open them up. So the biggest difference to KD, I think, are two facts. So first of all, this can't be used with KDs. So if you decide to convert your freight cars, you cannot use this mixed with KDs. You have to go with prototype couplers or with KDs, whichever you decide to go. And the second reason, and I think that's a big benefit, but we're going to talk about the pros later down the road, is that with this little stick here you have a little bit more value to the hobby itself, but I'm going to explain that a little bit later down here. So let me just pause for a second and prepare two other cars. I will be right back.